Hi, everyone, and welcome inside the beautiful DAC in downtown Detroit. Well, they're wrapping up, closing up shop of the 25th anniversary of the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Michigan Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards. My name is Lauren Plant. This is Candace Burns, and we are about to give you an abbreviated version, a state champ style of what took place. The curtain's about to go up, and boy, were there some incredible nominees.
Yes, tonight we had 12 Michigan athletes, 6 girls, 6 boys, just competing for that top spot, the winning chance, and we got to find out who won tonight right here at the DAC.
That's right, the Athlete of the Year. So the curtain's about to go up. Let's find out what went down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my favorite events of the night, so thank you all for being here. It's my privilege to represent the over 5,000 members of the Detroit Athletic Club and our related charity, the DAC Foundation. Supporting amateur athletics is a long-standing tradition for the DAC. It was the basis of our formation in 1887. In fact, the DAC hosted the first AAU track and field championships in 1888. Now let's discover more about the athletic excellence of our great club.
The Detroit Athletic Club has a rich history of awards and accolades within these 4 walls. As you walk through these halls, you step back in time to a place where athletics played a big part in what it was to be a member at the DAC. If you head up to the 3rd floor, you'll find a trophy case that has one of several Olympic gold medals our club can proudly associate with. And while you're here, head up to the 4th floor and look at the pool where Olympic trials were held and where world records were broken. Over the years, many world-class swimmers have practiced, competed, and created lifelong friendships in this pool. And that rumbling sound you hear in the basement of the clubhouse, that's our bowling center. Bowling is so much a part of the athletic fabric of the DAC that our members were rolling strikes before bowling even had a governing body. A DAC member was the first human to break 10 seconds in the 100-yard dash. The word athletics is more than just our middle name. It is at the very heart of the DAC and why the club enjoys a rich tradition of athletics going back to its founding in 1887. Soon after the nation's governing body for amateur sports, the AAU, rose from the backyard of the DAC, thanks in part to the initiative and passion of the club's leadership. Before the birth of professional sports, the original DAC clubhouse and grounds on Woodward Avenue hosted elite amateur club teams in basketball, football, track and field, and a 2-time national champion in baseball, the DAC Deltas. And when pro sports began to rise in the national consciousness, DAC members were at the forefront of creating the pro sports landscape that Michigan enjoys today. In the 1920s, DAC members bought the Vancouver Cougars and moved them to Detroit, where they were renamed the Detroit Red Wings. Another contingent of DAC members bought and relocated the Portsmouth, Ohio Spartans to the Motor City. By 1935, barely a handful of years after joining the fledgling National Football League, that team, now known as the Detroit Lions, brought the city its first pro football championship. 3 DAC members were prominent in establishing the Detroit Tigers, and in fact, every owner of the Tigers except 2 has been a DAC member. The prominence and influence of these members extended beyond sports and throughout the community. The club's membership of that day was like a who's who of the emerging auto industry. Yet the DAC remains committed to athletics, and that passion to athletics can be seen in today's increasingly diverse membership. They are not merely spectators, but participants in sport. Our club has become the spotlight of world sporting events. Our racket courts have hosted top women professional squash players in the world. We've hosted national basketball championships that have brought together squads from top private clubs in the country. Our gym plays host to the Chuck Davy Boxing Classic, welcoming boxers from our nation's service academies. And in recent years, our club's annual Detroit Cycling Championship attracts many of the nation's top cyclists. Detroit Athletic Club members are also in turn giving back to our sports-minded community. Member-driven charity programs provide bicycles to children through Fit Kids 360 and introduce children to the fast-paced sport of squash through Rack It Up Detroit. And last, the club's most iconic organization, the Beavers, has hosted some of the very best of the best in the world of athletics for an afternoon of good food and better conversation. Tom Izzo, Jim Harbaugh, and Isaiah Thomas are among the latest to speak with candor and humor to DAC members because they know our members appreciate and embrace sports in their lives, in much the same way sports are central to you, who have already made names for yourselves, not only on the playing fields, but in the classroom. The DAC is proud and honored to welcome you into our clubhouse, and thank you for the privilege of your company.
All right, here we go. Let's do this. Nominees for Male High School Athlete of the Year. All right, so at this time, I want to welcome up to the stage the nominees for the 2021 Male Athlete of the Year. Gentlemen. Yes, please. One more round of applause for these fine young men and foster wonders who couldn't be here. Okay, so Brian is making his way up to the stage over here, and he has the envelope. So if I may have the envelope, please. Thank you. Okay, I have to actually open this. It is sealed. Once again, congratulations, gentlemen. There can be only one winner. You are all winners, and you are all outstanding in every way. And I know that everyone here who is part of your support circle is very, very proud of you, and they will continue to be as we move forward. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this year's Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's 2021 Michigan Male High School Athlete of the Year, from Muskegon Mona Shores, Brady Rose.
Devoted, loyal, hardworking. These are just a few of the words used to describe Mona Shore's Brady Rose. Work ethic, attitude, and unselfishness also encapsulate this outstanding three-sport athlete. Some call him Superman, based on what he was able to pull off in the late stages of the 2019 football state playoffs.
Semifinals, we're against Walled Lake Western, and first drive of the game, we were down by 7 already, and our first-string quarterback, the All-State kid the year before, as a junior, he was All-State, and he went down, and I kind of knew my position. I knew I had to go in, and I knew we were down by 7. And at the time, I was just thinking, let's get the ball in the end zone, and then let's play the rest of the game. And then after, it's like you just think about like what happened, and you put yourself in that position. How hard you worked in the off-season, and it got you to that moment.
Brady not only went on to help his team win the 2019 Division II state championship, he repeated that effort as the full-time quarterback in his senior year, culminating in a perfect season, the best in school history. Rose will graduate as a 2-time Dream Teamer, and he was named the AP and MLive Player of the Year. Brady did this not only from the quarterback position, but he was outstanding on defense and on special teams. There's a saying that goes, don't underestimate the power of being underestimated. Brady Rose is Clark Kent in many ways, and early on he quickly proved he could play with the big dogs.
Freshman year, I was like, okay, I'm too small to play football. Baseball, if I'm this small, I should probably just play baseball. So I'm thinking and trying to do my best on the football field, but baseball is actually my sport. And then I get pulled up my sophomore year, and I play a little bit of quarterback. And I played some defense, and I was like, okay, I can actually do this. And junior year, it kind of got in my head that I liked football, and I liked the success that football brought to me. And just being on the field Friday nights under the lights you can't really beat that. So I took that, and I gained 20 pounds into my junior year, and then from there, it's just everybody knew that size didn't matter.
Brady participated in powerlifting during the winter seasons and is an all-conference baseball player. But more than just his athletic prowess, Brady has an incredible connection to his community through countless hours of service with food banks and reading to elementary students.
It just drives me to be the better me and to show me, like, as a leader and as a person that these kids will look up to as a quarterback, but also like a good friend.
With nearly a 4-point grade point average, Brady is a leader by example. His coaches and teachers say he's a role model to his peers.
What I do is, I think I mostly show what a leader does. I'm not more of the outspoken person to yell at you to do this and to do that. So me showing like what you do at practice or what you do in the classroom, I think people see and people follow.
Rose will go on to play college football at Division II powerhouse Ferris State, and he's got high expectations.
Ferris has been so close to that national championship. They've lost in the semis and they've lost in the finals. That getting to that next level that Ferris hasn't gotten to yet is that national championship, and that would probably be the next box as an athletic standpoint, but academic is obviously getting a degree and 4 years in college and all of that stuff.
Okay, congratulations. Anyone who knows you is not really surprised that you have won this award. You said in newspaper and other areas that being just nominated for this award was a great honor. How do you feel now that you've won it?
It's crazy, and if you had asked me a year ago or even a couple months ago if I would have been in this position, I would have said no way, and it's just unbelievable that this is even happening.
Well, it's happening. It's happening. Believe it. You've earned it. This is an award that rewards not just your athletic accomplishments, but what you've done in the classroom and in the community. Who would you like to thank tonight for helping make you the young man you are today?
First, I want to congratulate all the other male athletes here and the female athletes. I know they haven't been announced yet, but they're all unbelievable people, and I got to know a lot of them here, and I love talking to them. And thanks to the DAC, I live 3 hours away, so they've provided me with hotel rooms and so I don't have to drive at 2 a.m. and get in here and back. So
they got your back.
Yeah, and then the DAC committee, just thank you for this award. It means a lot to me and my family, and thank my whole family, and they've been here in and out of every position, every sporting event that I've been a part of, and they're there in the stands waiting for me when I come off the field, win or lose. And it's crazy to think that I have all these family members behind my back, and my aunts and uncles and grandparents and everybody that's in my life pretty much.
That's right. They all love you, man.
Yeah,
they all
teammates
love you.
And coaches, and my head football coach is here too. So
Right on. Right on. Yeah, the Mona Shores community is a great community. There's no question about it.
For sure.
In an amazing display of incredible fortitude, you win the state championship your junior year. Then you come back with an incredible senior season in which you help Mona Shores win your second straight state championship. This season, incredibly hard. The football season, dealing with a pandemic. The season starts late. We get through 3 rounds of playoffs. Then it shuts down for 2 months. Can you talk about just how difficult staying ready this whole season was?
Yeah, so winning a state championship your junior year only makes you want to win another one, and only makes it harder for the next one. And my junior year, we were picked to lose by every person that does the prediction in the state championship, except for one, and he was from Muskegon, so I don't know if that had any bias in it or not. But you don't start the season on time. It gets canceled. It gets moved to the spring, and you're devastated, and you don't even know what to think. And then it comes back on, and then you missed the first 3 games of your senior year, but you come off to you start back up right where you left off, and then 3 weeks into the playoffs, you get stopped again, and you didn't think you were going to finish after, 45 days, and they call it back on, and at that point, I think us and some of our teammates were ready to be done. We didn't think it was even going to come back, and then they call it back, and then they shut it down 2 days because the testing isn't ready, and then you finally get to finish your last 3 games in January, which I don't know if I'll ever play a football game in January again, but it was an experience that I'll never forget for sure.
Well, what you were able to accomplish on the field was simply spectacular for those of you who are high school football fans. You are 5'8" or around that.
Yep.
Anyone that ever underestimated you has been proven wrong time and time again. Warren De La Salle was a team that had defeated your team in the 2014 state championship and the 2018 state championship. In the state finals this year, 154 yards with 2 touchdowns. On defense, you make 8 tackles and you block a kick. When it seemed late that De La Salle was going to cut your lead down to 5 points, you rip off a 65-yard run, and that basically sealed it. Just dragging defenders into the red zone. That's the image that I have so seared into my brain. What do you attribute your ability and how you did it so many times to find a way to make that play that gives your team the breathing room to be able to succeed?
I think it comes from just the old teams, the old seniors. Like, we have a really good family member, he graduated in 18, that's at Purdue now, but you just see him and you don't think he's much of a crier. He's a middle linebacker at 230 pounds, and you see him after that 2018 state championship loss to De La Salle, and he's crying, and all the seniors are crying, and you don't want that to happen to you. And then again in 2014, I was actually on the sidelines for that game too, and you don't want to see the loss that people see in their face. You see them crying, and you see just everybody devastated, and then you come out and you're in the weight room all off season. Then it finally comes out on the field, and you get to show what you've been working for the whole season.
That's right. Preparedness.
Yep.
You guys had a goal and you lived it. Now, your father was a hard-nosed free safety who played at Grand Valley State in the early 1990s. Your mother was a Grand Valley alum, and your older sister is currently at Grand Valley. So you had an offer from Grand Valley, and you decided to play your college football where?
Ferris State.
So I'm just curious what the family dynamic was there in you making your decision.
They knew it was my decision. They knew that Ferris State was the right place for me to go, and I fit Ferris State's offense really well. And I've been to Ferris a couple times since I've committed, and all of the slots there are actually might be smaller than me. So their offense I fit that slot position really well, and they let me make my decision wherever I wanted to go, and I think Ferris State was the position that fit me the most.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to it. The 2021 Michigan Male High School Athlete of the Year. Congratulations. Here are the nominees for Michigan High School Female Student Athlete of the Year. All right, Brian, the envelope, please. I need to tell you that this was the closest vote ever in the history of this award. Each one standing before you, simply exemplary in everything. But there can only be one winner. And I apologize for the delay as I rip this envelope open. The winner of the Detroit Athletic Club's 2021 Michigan Female High High School Athlete of the Year, from Birmingham Seaholm, Audrey DaDamio. Birmingham Seaholm's Audrey DaDamio has a strong legacy of running in her family. Her grandfather, her father, and her sister ran for the University of Notre Dame, but they may have broke the mold with Audrey. The reigning Division I cross-country state champ and dream teamer, the pandemic may have canceled last year's track season. This winter more than made up for lost time. DaDamio set indoor track state records in the 1600 and 3200 meters. Her 3200 time is the 5th fastest all-time by a U.S. high schooler. Her 1600 time was the fastest indoor time in the nation. A little over a month ago, in her first time running the 5,000 meters on a track outdoors, she beat an entire field of collegiate runners. She broke the state record, 12 seconds shy of becoming the first female distance runner in state history to run the 5,000 under 16 minutes. But all of this almost never happened. In middle school, a harmless day snow sledding with friends almost ended her running career before it truly began.
We're sledding down and there were these haystacks on the side of the hill, and we kind of, like, the sled took a turn and just kind of, like, my leg just hit right into it, and it was very painful. I mean, I think I have a pretty high pain tolerance, at least I definitely do now after everything that's happened, but yeah, I tried to get up. I couldn't, put any weight on it at all. And had to be like dramatically carried up the hill basically by my friend and my mom. And obviously you don't think anything is gonna be super horrible when it happens. So we like to joke about it. My parents were like, oh, put some ice on it and tomorrow you'll be back at practice and you'll be running and everything will be fine.
But everything wasn't fine. Audrey had torn her meniscus on her knee off the bone. This was rare. In order to find a doctor comfortable enough for the surgery, Audrey went to Vail, Colorado numerous times, for weeks at a time. She didn't walk at all for months. It would be 2 years before easing back into competition. To this day, she still has to be conscious and careful in training, but with a steely resolve. Today, that experience defines her outlook on everything.
Developing that kind of grit and that goal-setting attitude of, this is a really long-term goal, but I'm going to do all these little things along the way, because that's kind of how, it was then, was, the goal is to get back to running. So, but today, it's just to bend my leg 90 degrees. So I think developing that ability to navigate the ups and downs and then see really, really long term has helped me go from, freshman year just kind of trying to qualify for states to, trying to win states and trying to win nationals.
She is on her way. At the recent Division I track and field state finals, 3 more state titles. In winning the 1600 crown, Audrey set the Seaholm School record. In the 800, a new personal best, 2:11.95, and the title. And then, enough energy to claim the 3200 state championship by 4 seconds. And that drive translates to the classroom. A 4.6 GPA, DaDamio is a National Merit Scholarship finalist, an AP Scholar with distinction with awards in AP Psych, AP Lang, and Honors Chinese. She even found time to be in the marching band. Audrey also earned a President's Volunteer Service Award, very active in the COVID Response Network serving Pontiac, taking her Saturdays to pack and deliver food. She's also a teacher of the principles of Christian religion at her parish of St. Thomas More, helping kids develop their faith.
Reading scripture more carefully and really taking the time to reflect and relate it to my life, and then also to try to relate it to the lives of 10 and 11-year-old kids. And I think through teaching, I've learned a lot about, the Bible and God's work myself, because, I've definitely had to put a lot more thought into it, because I want to make sure that I'm able to teach it in a way that's understandable.
an intense interest in human biology, DaDamio wants to be a doctor or physical therapist. Her other grandfather won a gold medal as a speed skater in the 1964 Olympics, so running for the USA is definitely the dream. But she will not run at Notre Dame. Instead, Audrey is committed to run track and field and cross country at Stanford University.
For the environment that it is of being, very rigorous academically and a lot expected of you athletically, everyone there was very calm and relaxed, and that was something that really stood out to me when I visited, of just everybody really chasing these big dreams, but not like taking themselves too seriously either. And I think that's ultimately why I chose, was because I think I can connect well with the people while also being challenged by them, and to just be better all around.
You won. What's this moment like for you?
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's such an honor to be here and to be celebrated among all of these other athletes. And yeah, watching everybody's videos, I was just so impressed by how amazing everybody is at their sport and in the classroom, and just in general in life, and just being so kind. And it's been really great to get to know everybody, and yeah, I'm really grateful.
All right. Well, your story's so incredible. We touched on it, but in no way did it really compare with what you went through with your knee as a kid. I mean, it's bad enough you have to fly halfway across the country and have the surgery and then back and forth for all the rehab and the follow-up. But just trying to get back on track, not being able to walk, just to want to compete again. Can you talk about how you got through it?
Yeah, it was tough, honestly. Just the kind of back and forth, like you mentioned, of going from Colorado back home was pretty isolating, but I was really lucky. My mom was always there,
Yeah.
and my parents and family supporting me, and I think the experience definitely taught me how to be gritty and how to just tough it out sometimes, and to understand more about my body and what I can handle physically. And I think just the support from my teachers and my coaches and my family and my teammates and everything really helped me get through that experience, from text messages or notes in the mail or cookies sent to my house or whatever. It was just really great, and really nice to have all those people in my corner.
Yeah. I mean, we flash forward to today, and what you've been able to accomplish is truly outstanding. You're so goal-oriented in everything. It was interesting, like when we were even doing our setting up her table, whatever, she was very kind of meticulous in watching how things were going to be set up, making sure that, we had good represent, it's just, but you could tell that you pay attention to the details, and that's a good thing. Where does that drive come from? Who instilled that mindset into you that translates into everything you do?
Yeah, well, I have a great family. I'm really lucky I have two older siblings who are incredible and incredibly hardworking, and my parents and my grandparents. I think just having that tradition of trying to pursue excellence in whatever path they took has been something that I've really looked to, and I'd say especially my sister, we're very similar, and even from we obviously both run, and she and I play the same instrument in the band, so I just really, she's my biggest role model, and I think looking at the things that she did when she ran in college, I think she really instilled a lot of that hard work and that goal-setting mindset into me, because that's how she was when she was in high school, and I got to watch her perform and see her hard work pay off, and so I kind of knew, okay, if I work, as hard as she does, then it should happen for me too.
Right. Well, you recently became the first female athlete to win the 800-meter run, the 1,600-meter run, and the 3,200-meter run at the Lower Peninsula Division I state finals. You won the cross-country state championship, and let me tell the audience, just because of COVID protocols, they ran the finals of cross-country in separate heats. So Audrey wasn't even in the quote-unquote fast heat. She was kind of in the second group, but she still had the fastest time over everyone and really had to kind of run against herself. You won the AAU National Cross Country Championship after that. You set records indoors in the winter and had the fastest time in the nation. Is there anything that you particular, the honors, is there something you treasure maybe the most for whatever reason?
Yeah, there are a couple, I guess. I would say two probably stick out. My junior year, I qualified for the Foot Locker Nationals, which is for distance running. It's a really big deal. They, fly you out to California and you get to hang out with the pro runners, and it's just really awesome. And I hadn't had a great day at the state meet a few weeks before that, and I went to a national meet before that as well and didn't perform as well as I'd hoped. And then at that meet, everything came together and I qualified, and I was like crying and everything, and it was just really awesome. And that's where I first started to see myself as somebody that could do well and on the national level, and gave me a lot of confidence. And then probably another moment that was special was this indoor season when I ran the fastest time in the country. That was really crazy. It was like a 12-second PR. And just, in running, there's a lot of ups and downs, and sometimes you can be really prepared for a race and it just doesn't go well. And so you train for the moments when everything, comes together and you feel good. And that was a day where I felt good and it all came together and it was really special.
Right. So PR is your personal record.
Yeah, sorry.
And the fact that she ran 12 seconds faster than her personal record in this indoor meet and sets the fastest time in the nation. You set the Seaholm state record with your time in the 1600 at the recent track state finals. This is significant because those in the room who were in this room in 2015 may remember that Audrey Belf won this very award, who is also a Seaholm runner. So she won Female Athlete. She was a multi-state champion and a legend, so you're in good company as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So, and I think your sister won the 1600 track title too.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
okay.
It was really special to follow in her footsteps in that way.
Okay. A 4.6 GPA. In one of your letters of recommendations, it said you read a dozen books during the lockdown just as a matter of purpose. Maybe you were bored or something. Can you talk about your love of learning?
Yeah, I think just Seaholm was a great place that really cultivated in me a love for learning, and just from a young age, I think I always enjoyed, especially reading and writing. Those are some of my favorite things, and I think, I just like to learn and be around. I've had a lot of incredible teachers that have really taken the time to, if I wanted to learn something extra, they'd work with me and through elementary, middle school, and high school. And I think just that culture of a lot of people wanting to do well in the classroom and excel, I think that was a good place for me to be a part of that at Seaholm.
Yeah, awesome. So you're going to Stanford. So before that, what does this summer look like for you?
I'm racing until July, so I have about a month left of training. My last race will be in Seattle on the 2nd of July, and then after that, I'll take a little bit of a break and then kind of get back into college training, and then I work at a swim club, so that takes up some time, and I'm doing an internship actually in Detroit this summer, so that I'll be pretty busy, but hoping to have some time to relax, because I know next year I'm going to hit it pretty hard in the classroom and while running. So,
yes, it will. But I'm sure that you will handle it just as you handle everything. Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Michigan High School Female Athlete of the Year, Audrey DaDamio.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so that's our show for tonight. We want to thank you guys so much for watching the 25th anniversary of the DAC Foundation's Michigan Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards. I think that's the longest award name in history. We are here one more time with the winners. We have Brady Rose, and of course we have Audrey DaDamio. And Audrey, you know, we're kind of fresh off the stage. How are you soaking this in right now?
Yeah, it's a great feeling, and I'm just so thankful to the DAC, and it's just such an honor to be celebrated with such incredible athletes. And yeah, I'm just thankful for everybody, from my parents to my coaches, teammates, and everybody who's supported me through my whole athletic career.
That's right. It's long and it's going to continue.
And now for our new 2021 Male Athlete of the Year, Brady Rose. How are you feeling now that you have won the award?
Just it's so surreal that so many great athletes, so many great people great guys that you were picked over, and it's just kicking in high school, great high school career. And I thank everybody that's been a part of it, to coaches, to family, to teammates, and couldn't have done it without any of them. And they made me who I am. So
that's right, and who you will continue to be. So again, it's been an amazing award show. We congratulate our champions, we congratulate our nominees, and we can't wait to do it again next year. So once again, we want to thank you for watching, and we will see you next year right here at the DAC.